I did not fix my entire life in 7 days. I fixed the reason it kept falling apart. Because when your life feels broken, the problem usually is not that you need a perfect plan. The problem is that you have no proof that you can trust yourself anymore. You say you will wake up early, then you do not. You say you will work, then you scroll. You say tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow becomes a copy of yesterday. So for 7 days, I stopped trying to become a new person. I tried to become someone who could keep one promise at a time. And by the end, my life was not perfect, but it was moving again. Here is the exact 7-day reset I would do again if I felt completely stuck. Day 1 was not about motivation. It was about stopping the bleeding. Because if your attention is leaking all day, no productivity system can save you. I deleted the easiest distractions, not forever, just for the week. The goal was not to become a monk. The goal was to make bad habits slightly less automatic. Most people fail because they try to beat their phone with willpower. That is like trying to outswim a shark while wearing a backpack full of bricks. So I changed the room before I tried to change myself. Phone away from the bed. Laptop off the desk at night. Notifications off unless they mattered. And suddenly, I was not more disciplined. My life was just less annoying to control. But this is where the first trap appears. You will feel bored, and you will think boredom means the reset is not working. It is working. Boredom is your brain looking for the old escape hatch. Day 2 was about cleaning the battlefield. Not because a clean room magically fixes your life, but because every messy object is a tiny decision waiting to drain you. I cleaned my desk, floor, bed, and the places I kept avoiding. I did not make it aesthetic. I made it usable. That difference matters because people get stuck trying to make their life look productive. The real win is making it easier to start. A clean desk is not the goal. A desk that makes work less painful is the goal. And that leads to the part nobody wants to admit. Sometimes your environment is not messy because you are lazy. It is messy because you have been mentally carrying too many unfinished loops. So day 2 ended with one rule: no new chaos before I removed the old chaos. Day 3 was the first real test. I picked one promise so small, it almost felt embarrassing. Not 10 habits, not a perfect morning routine. One promise. Mine was simple. Do one focused work block before entertainment. Not 8 hours. Not a full grind set fantasy. Just one honest block. This matters because confidence is not built by hype. Confidence is built when your brain watches you do what you said you would do. Every kept promise is a vote for the person you are becoming. But every broken promise teaches the opposite lesson. So I made the promise too small to fail, then protected it like it was huge. And once I finished it, I did something important. I stopped. Because the goal of day 3 was not to squeeze out more work. The goal was to rebuild trust. Day 4 was when the reset started feeling real. Not because I suddenly loved discipline. I still wanted easy dopamine. But for the first time, my day had a shape. So I fixed the one thing that controls almost everything else: sleep. Again, not perfectly. I just made sleep less stupid. Same rough bedtime. Phone away. No one more video trap in bed. Because if your sleep is broken, your discipline gets taxed before the day even starts. You are not weak for struggling when you are tired. You are just playing life on hard mode with no bonus rewards. And here is the retention loop inside the whole reset. Day 5 is where most people quit because the progress stops feeling exciting. That is actually the most important day. Day 5 was skill day. I picked one skill that could make my future less trapped. For this channel, that skill might be scripting, editing, thumbnails, sales, or storytelling. The exact skill matters less than the fact that it creates leverage, because entertainment makes the day pass. A skill can make your life change. So I spent one block practicing something useful, even badly. This is where beginners mess up. They keep researching because researching feels safer than being bad at the thing. But being bad is the entry fee. You do not become confident first. You become willing to look stupid first. Day 6 was proof day. I created one tiny piece of evidence that my life was not just changing in my head. A finished script, a cleaned folder, a workout logged, a message sent, a project started. Something visible. Something undeniable. Something I could point to. Because your brain does not believe vague progress for very long. It believes receipts. This is why most self-improvement feels fake. People change their identity in their imagination, but keep zero evidence in real life. So day 6 was not about becoming impressive. It was about creating proof that the old version of me was losing control. And then came day 7, the day that decides whether this was a phase or a reset. Most people finish a good week and immediately overload the next one. They think, I am back, so they add 10 goals, 5 habits, and a new personality. Then the system collapses, and they think they failed. But the problem was not the person. The problem was the weight. So on day 7, I designed the next normal week. Not the fantasy week. Not the perfect week. The week I could actually repeat. I kept the phone limits, the clean desk, the one promise, the sleep boundary, and the skill block. That was it. Because the life-changing part was not the 7 days. The life-changing part was building a system that could survive a bad mood. That is the real test. Can your life still move forward when you do not feel inspired? Can you keep one promise when the day is messy? Can you make the next good decision without waiting to become a whole new person? Because you do not fix your life by escaping yourself. You fix it by becoming easier to trust. So no, 7 days did not solve every problem, but 7 days was enough to prove I was not trapped. And once you have proof, everything changes. You stop asking, what is wrong with me? And you start asking, what promise am I keeping today? That question is boring. But boring is exactly why it works. The internet will sell you a new identity every week, but the version of you that wins is probably not dramatic. It is the version that keeps showing up after the motivation disappears. So here is my challenge. For the next 7 days, do not try to fix your whole life. Fix your leaks. Clean your battlefield. Keep one promise. Protect your sleep. Practice one skill. Create one receipt. Design one repeatable week. That is not a glow-up. That is how you become dangerous. Because a person who trusts themselves does not need a perfect life to start moving. They just need the next promise.